Coming up on the Broadway Shuffle, we break down how Texas Tech was able to survive UNC Wilmington, and we look ahead to the second round matchup with Drake. That and much more next on the Broadway Shuffle. Okay, welcome to episode 64 of the Broadway Shuffle. It is 12:04 a.m. Central Time, and the Red Raiders have just defeated UNC Wilmington 82-72. We've got Zyler, Clayton, and Conrad here. I'm Brennan. It is a early morning, but at least it's a victorious morning. It looked a little closer than we would have anticipated, but guys, we are still on our way to the round of 32. But man, lots to get into about this game. This was a unique game on a whole lot of levels. Texas Tech team record, school record threes. Kerwin Walton, I think tournament record in threes. And Kerwin Walton looked like he was shooting every other possession, but he hit a lot of big shots. So let's get into it right away. Thank you for listening to this reaction episode as well. And if you are here for the first time, make sure to like this video and subscribe or follow along on Apple or Spotify. So Z, I'm going to go to you. Oh,
yeah, go ahead. Thank you for all the people that have subscribed. I know we ask a lot of you, and we really do appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I know you don't want to hear that message anymore. Let's get into the game. Weird game. Just weird game.
And
I think it kind of played out the way that you wanted to. You were able to get a lot of really good looks. I don't think you took a lot of bad shots. You just kind of shot poorly. You haven't shot below 30% from the three-point line in a really long time. You shot 28.3%. I wanted to see, and I was checking the box score to see, I don't think that they gave it to him. I'm looking at it now. Did you know Elijah Hawkins was one rebound away from a triple-double?
Yeah.
Wild.
He didn't get it.
But yeah, shout out to Kerwin Walton, game of his life. We were talking about that. We're out at Ransom Canyon right now. That's why the background's significantly improved. And, that guy could have quit on the team, earlier this year when he was getting 4 to 5 minutes a game, stayed in the gym, stayed working hard, stayed committed to the grind. And I mean, you look at where he is now, that's just an awesome message. It's an awesome thing to reward a guy like that who's grinded, who's worked hard, and it's paying off. You wouldn't have won the game without Kerwin tonight because nobody could really hit any 3-point shots. Christian was off, Darian was off, Toppin was off. Elijah hit a couple, but I mean, I think he was 3 for 12. Like, Kerwin saved you and essentially won you the game. So shout out to Kerwin. Definitely want to give him his flowers tonight.
Yeah, you're looking at Elijah 3 of 12 from 3, Christian 1 of 8 from 3, Darian 0 for 4, Toppin 0 for 1, and then Kevin Overton 1 of 2. Clayton, I'm going to go to you on Christian Anderson. You're going to need him. It's not looking like Chance McMillan is going to be able to play much, if at all, this tournament, and we missed Chance tonight. You definitely missed Chance and his ability to kind of create. You think Christian maybe just kind of, this was one of the first games we've seen where he was really almost unable to really hit shots. Do you think it was just kind of a nervous game for him? Like maybe the moment was a little too big too early on. And, because if Texas Tech wants to even get past Drake, you're going to need Christian Anderson to hit shots.
Yeah, it felt like nerves. I mean, I'm not super worried about him going forward. He has experience in a tournament in like the FIBA setting, but he missed his first few shots and you could tell he lost a lot of confidence. He had shots that normally he'd pull up and take, and he was just turning it down. He was passing up open looks to go to other players. He had some big moments in the game, the and one, and then the 3 in the corner. Like I said, I'm not super worried about him going forward. I felt like he played fine. He just didn't hit shots, like Zyler said. I was honestly a lot more concerned with Hawkins' shot selection. Like it felt like their game plan was to double JT and then force Hawkins into shooting threes. And Hawkins is a good shooter. Like he's not a bad 3-point shooter, but you got to pick and choose who you are trying to take away. And it felt like they were baiting him into taking threes, and he was taking every single one that he could, including some transition threes that I thought were like horrible shots. So to answer your question, I didn't feel like Christian plays were bad. I'm not worried about him going forward.
Yeah, the Hawkins, 3 of 12 from 3, and it's like, it's hard to say, and obviously a couple of those were very poor, but when you're that wide open, and I get, Grant, I've noticed Grant on the sideline. I watch him when some of these shots go up, like he almost had no expression. I don't know if internally he's like horrible shot, but it seems like if it's an open 3, you're fine to take it. And that was obviously clear Conrad tonight with a tournament record in 3-pointers. And Kerwin Walton's arm could have fallen off for how much he was shooting. Conrad, what's your
Yeah.
initial reaction to this game? I mean, obviously much closer than we would have hoped for, but pulled away late. But a lot of nerves for sure going into the round of 32 now.
Yeah, I don't think the final score necessarily is indicative of this game. I mean, you did pull away at the end, but being as close as you were in the middle stretch of this game, obviously you were up 16 at one point in the first half, and then it obviously closed the gap, and you expanded at the end. It still is. It's March, so anything can happen. We know that. But seeing how poorly you played, I was just looking back at our schedule, and I mean, I can't even remember the last time you played this bad collectively. You just did not do what you thought you should have done. I mean, you had a bunch of guys that really did not play up to their potential, like we've already mentioned. Obviously, JT getting doubled had a big impact on him and what he was able to do. But this is just one game. Thankfully, there was such a talent discrepancy that you were able to win the game. But again, looking forward a little bit. I know we just finished the game a few minutes ago, but looking forward, if you play like this on Saturday at 5-10 against Drake, it's not going to be good. You're probably not winning that game if you play like this. Now, do I expect us to win like this or to play like this? No, I don't. I think we'll be much improved. But at the end of the day, this game was something that you really didn't expect it to go the way that it did. But the fact that you came out on top makes it a whole lot better looking at it now.
Z, yeah, what's your thought on kind of the overall play of this game? I mean, obviously what UNC Wilmington was able to do, trapping in the paint, there was a lot of, obviously they were essentially letting us live and die by the 3-point shot, it looked like. And for the most part, it worked. Like outside of Kerwin Walton, and I mean, he made 8, still missed 11. I mean, 8 of 19 is when you make 8 3-pointers, you're having a great day still, no matter how many shots you take, so it's like, and he took a lot of open ones and he hit a lot of big shots. But you think that'll be Drake's game plan going forward? And if you do get to St. John, like it seems like every team's probably just going to double top it.
And truth be told, if teams are going to double top it and he gets to kick out to Elijah, Christian, or Darian, typically I'm pretty happy with that. Like, that's been a really good recipe for us. I do want to say one thing on Elijah. I know he was a bad shooting night, but I don't think he came out of the game. And I thought 10 assists, 9 rebounds. I thought he played excellent. He was great on Newbie. Newbie was not the problem tonight offensively. I thought he did an excellent job. He did a great job facilitating the offense. He should have had a lot more assists. We just missed a lot of shots. But kind of looking forward to Drake a little bit. That's a team. The way I've described them is it's the triple option of basketball. Like, if they get a lead on you, they are going to constrict you to death. I'm sure we all watched that game against Missouri. It's just, they are so good with a lead. They're going to take that shot clock down to 25, 28 seconds every single time and really limit the possessions. We're going to have to be very efficient. I think Toppin's going to have a big night against Drake. Moving forward, am I concerned about a lot of that? I'm glad we were able to get a win and Christian can kind of reset. It looked like he was rushing his shot a ton. That's what I thought it looked like. Looked like he was trying to get it off way too quick. Glad he was able to hit one there at the end. That was nice. Man, I am impressed with the coaching staff. I think we make really good adjustments. One other note, sorry, I realize I'm kind of rambling and completely off track, but Darian Williams looked significantly better from a health perspective than I've probably seen him in probably 4 weeks. He was attacking the rim. He was finishing sometimes. I think that's encouraging for you moving forward. He's going to need to have a good game. Drake has some smaller guards that I think are going to be matchup problems for them.
Yeah, and I know we're obviously frustrated. We're obviously reacting to this 10 minutes after the game ends, and it's frustrating to kind of see how you weren't able to control the game. But this is March, dude. You survive, you advance. You could be Clemson.
Yep.
You could be. I don't really Missouri.
Louisville.
Right? You could be Missouri. There was. I mean, you could be on a flight home to Lubbock right now, and you're not. And that's really all that matters.
That's a great point.
It doesn't matter how you win. Just that you won. And now, are there things that I'm kind of slightly concerned when I'm looking ahead? But the fact that you were able to take care of business, and then you get an 11 seed Drake. Last year, you were the 6 that lost to the 11. Now you have a chance at redemption, and that's your path to the Sweet 16. I would sign up for that regardless. If we would have won on a buzzer beater, we still won, and we're still to the round of 32. And kudos to the team for battling, because when you're down 1, I've watched a lot of March Madness games. When a 3 seed or 2 seed or 4 seed or 5 for that matter gets down 1 in the second half and you feel the crowd shifting, they usually lose that game. Like, that is a late game blown lead. That is a recipe for an upset. And you were able to pretty much control the game from minute 8 on into close and never gave up the lead again. And that's impressive. And that does show that this team was able to battle and willing to fight. And I credit the guys and the coaching staff for rallying, because it could have gone south there when it was like 48-47 pretty quick.
Yeah.
Real
Toughest
quickly,
team wins, right?
Yeah, totally. I thought you rebounded. You were hustling on the glass. I thought Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
he had mistakes, but I thought he had some really crucial rebounds for you in that game. I thought Toppin played. Your guys were playing hard. That was a big team. They're bigger than you. That team was more athletic than you are, and you were able to match up with them on the glass. Kind of shifting a little bit to the tournament today. Any games that you guys particularly enjoyed? Any teams that lost that you were like, man, that was super exciting?
I did not enjoy today very much. My bracket is hurting. So
this is one of the worst ones I've ever had.
Yeah, I was expecting more upsets today. I kind of thought, there was this game. This week
there
was
were two.
Yeah, I mean McNeese over Clemson, and who was the other one?
Drake over Missouri.
Drake
over
12
and 11.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted a 13. I picked 2 13 seeds today. I wanted Yale to beat A&M so bad.
Yeah,
me too. I wanted UCSD to win, but I think it's hilarious to look at the ACC and Clemson and Louisville, who went a combined 36-4, looked like they didn't even belong on the court with Creighton and McNeese.
Oh, and
yeah, that was bad.
Speaking of, the way you should handle your business when you think you're underseeded is to not say a dang thing about it and just beat the crap out of the opponent like Gonzaga did.
Yeah,
Georgia, it was 27-3.
Yeah, that was surprising.
I mean, poor Houston. I mean, that is going to be a battle.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about,
sorry, real quick, Conrad. That's got to be one of the best 1-8 matchups of all time. I know we kind of like touched on that last time, but I don't know a better 8-1 game that we've seen.
I mean, in KenPom, it's going to be the top 7 team versus 7 versus 3 in the 1-8
That's
game.
wild.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Well, and while we're on the topic of brackets, we do need to give a shout out to 3 individuals that are tied to the top of the Broadway Shuffle Bracket Challenge. We got Bryson Dunn, Leah Stuckey, and Xana Bradley. I think I said that correctly. All tied in first place. Okay,
let's go.
All tied in first place. So
okay, nice.
We have 77 people in it. So if you did not get in it and you're listening this far, sorry.
Shame on
there's
you.
always next year.
Conrad,
I got to shout out Bryson, Leah, and Xana.
I forgot to put my bracket in. It's doing really badly. Can I just slide it in?
Are you serious? You didn't
I better luck next year, Zyler.
We only talked about it on the podcast for like 3 weeks leading into it.
I was leaving, so we were hustling to try to get out here to Ransom, and I was like, gotta remember the mic, gotta remember everything, and I just totally forgot. I'm in like 15 different pools and just totally forgot to do the Broadway Shuffle one.
Oh, that's all right. You probably can't. We wouldn't let you win it anyways, because we have to let someone else other than
and
the 4 of us.
I think I would be in like 68th.
I'm down there. I'm down there. Tomorrow's going to be rough too.
The thing is, though, about those 3 individuals I just mentioned is that they all picked Texas Tech as their champion. So
that's
I don't
amazing.
know that all of those people will be finishing tied for first. I don't think that'll be the case, but maybe that's just me.
Come on, man, keep some hope. Keep some hope alive, dude. As the great Chris Level would say, keep hope alive.
Hey, anything can happen. I guess this is just fresh off tonight. I don't know that I saw an NCAA champion tonight, but that could change on Saturday.
And how fun is it? This is one of my favorite things about the tournament. If you play on Thursday, you get to enjoy Friday completely stress-free. You get to watch and laugh at all the teams that lose in the first round, because there's no way that you will lose in the first round. You get to make fun of everybody because there's no way it comes back to bite you.
But outside of the Michigan game, which ended up being close, I'm trying to think. This was a dud of a day. I mean, Clemson made a run on McNeese.
You're looking for close games.
In terms of like no buzzer beaters, no last second possessions for a chance to win. Like nothing. This wouldn't be a YouTube episode of like greatest March Madness moments. Like nothing from today. So hopefully tomorrow delivers. Usually that happens where it's like this tournament delivers in some way. So maybe it means a round of 32 would be great. But
I think Saturday and Sunday are going to be crazy. The good teams are advancing.
Yes, and that was a little like, when we talked about picking upsets like High Point, Yale, some of these 12. I know there were other 12 seeds like San Diego that came close against Michigan. We really wanted, and a lot of these teams just didn't win. Like even the 10 seeds. I know Arkansas was a 10; they got through, but Utah State gets demolished. There was just a lot of like just kind of blowouts. I mean, Arkansas was okay, but it kind of just felt like Arkansas was in control a while. I don't know. I was bored today. I was bored and angry, and then Tech almost lost, and I got more angry. But it's okay.
Kind of
Now I'm
played out
smiling.
how the rest of the year has gone. Like, there's a lot of seed lines that people have talked about that are like, this is the best this seed line has been in a long time. Like the ones, the threes,
Mhm.
what
The
else?
fours even.
Five, yeah, the fours, the sevens, and none of those teams really lost.
Yeah.
But there was teams who were on the brink, and that's why it is important to remember in Tech's case, like you got the job done, as bad as you may have shot the ball and as bad as you may have played.
Dude, and there's been
Great
Conrad,
point.
there's been moments in March where champions and Final Four contenders and Elite Eight, like look at Virginia. Like they should have lost when they
They should
ended
have
up
lost like
beating
3
you,
times.
4 times. Yeah, like there's been times where Duke, that Zion team that lost in the Elite Eight to Michigan State, they should have lost to Taco Fall in Central Florida in the second round.
Yep.
That you're like, dude, like teams go through, just because you barely beat a team that you should have beat by 15 or 20 doesn't mean you're necessarily screwed. What I'm a little more just wanting to see against Drake, and let's touch on that matchup quickly before we get out of here, is they're going to slow the pace down. Obviously, like you said, they run like an 1880 basketball offense, and obviously Starts as a stud, and like that guy's going to get buckets, and you're going 7 deep, and they're going to play physical and hard. I just am nervous, if we continue to struggle from the field, because you're going to have to beat them hitting threes, and you're going to have to work possessions, and you're going to have to get to the bucket. And we did not see a lot of that. Like Christian and Darion in the second half started to, but I was pretty disappointed in our lack of, I guess, aggressiveness towards the basket here. And I think just settling a lot. And I don't think we can do that. I don't think that's going to be a recipe for success against Drake.
I think that was partially like playing into UNCW's weaknesses. Like we talked about, they give up a ton of threes, and I think that was probably the game plan. I don't think the game plan was to break the NCAA record, but Drake is very different. Like their 2-point defense is where they struggle. I would be surprised if we came close to the amount of 3-point attempts, and hopefully we shoot better in our attempts against Drake.
Yeah. This team's going to roll out 6'4", 6'3", 6'5", 6'6", 6'8". This is going to be a significantly smaller team than what you played tonight.
Yeah.
I also think
Toppin should eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our defense on Newbie is encouraging for Sturts. I mean, Newbie we held him to 2 for 10 shooting, and that was the guy who I thought could beat you. Turns out it was that Hodge guy hitting like the most ridiculous mid-range
with his
shots I've ever seen.
5-step run up, pull up, where you like the carry step. It was like, how many steps does this guy get to run into his shot?
I know, but
you held him to his 3rd lowest offensive rating for the entire season. So.
And Conrad, I want to go to you here for the Drake game as we close the show. We'll be back to react to the Drake game as well. We're not going to do a preview for it, but we'll react to it after the fact. So I'm going to go to you for prediction time. Just take a deep breath. We survived round of 32. Is Texas Tech going to the Sweet 16? Are we going to knock off Drake?
Yeah, so I don't think that you're going to necessarily shoot the ball as bad as you did tonight. I don't think Kerwin is going to have the type of game he did on Saturday. If he does, it may be the start to one of the most legendary individual performances in March ever, because this game back-to-back from Kerwin would be something special. I do think we play a lot better on Saturday night. I do think you win the game, assuming you do not play this bad. I do not think that you're going to play at this level on Saturday. I think you're going to rebound quite nicely. I don't think this is a performance that the staff or the team is necessarily happy with. I think they would know that, hey, we did fight through. We were the tougher team tonight, and so we did win. But at the same time, it's a team that we've seen can go much higher and much, much better than what they did tonight. And so I think we're going to win. I will say it'd probably be a single-digit win, but at the same time, I could very well be wrong, and maybe that's just a little recently biased after tonight. So, Clayton, what are your thoughts? Do we win? Do we lose? What do we have to do to bounce back against Drake?
Yeah, I think we win. I think, like Zyler mentioned, like I don't think they have anyone for Toppin, and he hasn't had like not that he played bad today, but he was just quiet. He hasn't had a quiet 2 games in a row since like early conference play. So I would expect him to bounce back. I think Darion's more efficient, and hopefully you hit some more threes and free throws. I think you win by like 8 to 10.
Z, that leaves you.
Yeah, I like your odds. I think if Facing Ben McCollum, I think I love that he has 48 hours to prepare and not like a whole week. I think he's a really smart basketball mind. I think Grant's really smart too, but I'll take our guys on the 48 hours over their guys on the 48 hours. I think it's not that I don't respect Dennis Gates. I just don't love him as a basketball mind, and I don't think they had the best game plan. And I think McCollum really outcoached him there. McCollum may end up having a better plan for you than what Grant has for them, but I like our chances there. I think you're really going to eat inside. You're not going to have to be so reliant on the 3-point shot. I think Toppin should be able to get buckets. Darion should be able to get buckets. I feel pretty good about that. It's just making sure that you come out hot. Don't let them play with the lead. They're a good team. I think it's over the last 7 years, Ben McCollum has lost 21 games. I mean, he loses like
absurd
3 games a year. So I mean, they're a great team. They deserve to be respected. That 1-foot runner 3-point shot that Sturts hit against Missouri was I would have thrown my remote at the
out.
That was unreal. So I mean, he's a shot maker.
Yeah. I was about to say, one thing I want to see us do is like Drake is so predictable that they will initiate their offense with 8 seconds left. If the shot clock gets under 5 and Sturts has the ball, I want to see us double every time, because you can rotate with 4 to 5 seconds on the shot clock, because the shot clock's your friend. I don't want to see us just let him have our guys like on an island and throw up something at the end of the clock.
Yeah, I don't know that Elijah can guard him one-on-one. I hope we this would have been a great game for Chance to be on him, but I think either Kevin Overton or Christian, I think you just want a little bit of size so he can't shoot over you. I'll be interested to see what the staff decides on, and I wouldn't be opposed to the press. I thought the press Missouri put on him was actually kind of helpful, but we'll see. Should be a fun game. It'll be 5:10, I think, on Saturday. I saw the tip times announced. So,
Yeah, on my initial thought is if Drake wants to get into a half-court game, what we do, and we talked about this a little bit before, but we are better than them at that. And if they want to slow down the pace and play in that 60 to 65 point range, I feel like that does benefit us more than a track meet, like a potential Missouri would have been or something too. Because we saw what that kind of looked like tonight when they just kind of dared you to shoot a ton of threes. And if you live and die by it, you can die by the 3. Unfortunately, that did not happen tonight. So I'm going to pick Texas Tech. I mean, it's all you can ask for, dude. 14 seed, 11 seed to get to the Sweet 16. You want chaos to happen around your bracket to kind of have an easier path. You are familiar with Drake, as we mentioned on a previous show, that you did scrimmage them back in October. So you do kind of know McCollum and Grant are obviously friends. So this is going to be a really interesting, close-knit game. Familiarity, even though it's something KO also came from Drake, a little connection there as well, too. So should be a fun one, but I think coming out of this battle tested, Texas Tech will find a way to get a win and advance to the Sweet 16 to play either Calipari or Patino, the mobsters of basketball, man. That's awesome. That's your potential Sweet 16 matchup if you get past Drake. I can't wait to watch the Calipari. I should have known in my bracket to pick that. That was just like the basketball gods of destiny saying we got to get these two together in the tournament. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, 12:30 at night, Texas Tech's winning. We can still rest easy. And you can wake up in the morning and listen to this and know that it's okay. And you can enjoy another day of March Madness knowing you got a game ahead. And you can sleep on Friday night knowing that you'll wake up Saturday and Texas Tech has survived and will still be playing basketball for another game. So congrats to the Red Raiders. A win in March, all you can ask for. And let's keep this ride going, man. We'll record whenever we have to celebrate a Tech win. So I know we're losing. Z's slowly. I think the eyes are drooping by the second. So let's get out of here. So we will catch you guys Saturday night or Sunday morning. We'll try to react live to that as well. So for Zyler, Conrad, and Clayton, I'm Brennan, and we will see you guys on the Broadway Shuffle this weekend. Wreck 'em.